Okay, now it's on to our last sample, at least for now, unless until I think of something else I want to try in terms of color. So this is the variegated Uneek DK fingering. DK fingering. What am I saying? The Uneek DK. And tucking a tail. I want to note also that I chose to warp this project with with an odd number of ends, so that both my selvages would be in slots on the rigid heddle as opposed to the holes. For some things that can make life easier. And after playing with my hand spun as weft, this perfectly consistent commercial yarn, it's much easier to keep all my little squares square, the negative space between the dents, or sorry, between the picks. So because I mixed medium, light, and dark, the challenge of finding a weft color that works really well with all of them gets much harder, if not impossible. However, there are things that work better and things that work worse, in my, really humble opinion, of which I never have any. And there goes a cat. That was my little void Scorpius running through there. Perhaps not in frame, but you might have heard him. Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, see, that is almost perfect. So now let's come in a little bit closer to the cloth so you can really see what's happening here. So how do things look now that I've woven 1, 2, 3, 4? Well, this is technically 4 because this is the 2 ends of the same cake. 5 samples. The white, yeah, not even a question. That is totally ruled out because most of the blue greens get lost in this white section. The only yarns that really show their stuff with a white weft are this variegated and this gold, the 2 light yarns. When we switch to black, the exact opposite thing happens. Or it happens in reverse, which is to say that the black kind of takes over in the medium, it even takes over in the dark, and it completely obscures what I wanted these light stripes to do. The hand spun Baltic Heather does pretty well. It does pretty well. And I'm not going to be able to zoom in enough to show you the entire width of this in one go. As much as I like how this color plays on the hand spun gradient, not so sure about the gray because again, it's really taking over. And I think that I would rather use that yarn, that color, as a warp so that shades across its width instead of a weft. And this Unique yarn, this colorway, is doing pretty well. Let's zoom in really closely. Keep in mind that because most of these yarns are either cotton yarns or sock yarns with superwash wool and nylon, they're not going to floof up in the finishing process the way other yarns might. Um, it might also be that I would do well to try a finer set, but I don't think I'm going to, because uh, I don't want to undo everything I've done because I'm lazy, and because this is actually a fabric with a nice, fine, light hand. So this would be as even as open as it seems right now. It would make for a very lightweight shawl, which might be perfect for 3 seasons out of the year, which is to say, not necessarily in a winter setting, but in summer when you're going in and out of air conditioning all the time, and spring and fall, it could do really, really well. So, my initial sense is I think I want to move forward with this commercial DK weight yarn. I feel like this is giving me the best results in terms of color and patterning, and it is it is variegated. So things will change when I get partway through the weaving of this, but in such a subtle way that I think it's really going to work and provide the most harmonious set of color interactions across this whole project. So I, now I've got at least a plan to try out. And the fact that I can probably find another skein of this yarn, even if it's not in the exact same dye lot, is also a big plus because I won't have enough. And then when I get to that diamond for the center of the V, sorry, you don't need to see this quite so zoomed in, I will replicate this color sequence just for that diamond, and we'll see how that goes. And that also could be really cool. Why don't I try weaving in this color sequence all the way across? Because I just don't have enough yarn. I don't have enough of these colors that I've already used. Um, yeah, that's just the way she goes. So I hope this experiment has given you some more ideas about how you can do your own color combinations that produce results that you really, really love and that just make beautiful, beautiful cloth. Don't be afraid to use your hand spun. Don't be afraid to use knitting yarns. Don't be afraid to use variegated yarns. They all work on plain weave. They all work beautifully on plain weave.